Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Making Video Your Business. New episode, new day. Hope everyone's well. Special guest this week, old school friend of mine, but still a very, very good friend of mine over, how long have we known each other? 30 odd years?
Yeah, 32 years.
Yeah, 32, yeah. So, yeah, I used to go to secondary school, James. James is one of the better estate agents I know, and not only because of his use of video, but exquisite use of video in new markets. Like, you've just moved to Melton Mowbray. Like, tell us a little bit about that and the video journey. I know we've spoke about some funny stories, and you can't quite believe that people recognise you on the street and stuff. And but yeah, what's your view on visuals and putting them into a business?
Yeah, so listen, obviously I joined, I've been working for a couple of local independents. Melton Mowbray was a new area for me, new company and what have you. One of the big things was ultimately the video work. The employers knew me off the back of my video work with other agencies. The power of video in a local town compared to a city is ridiculous. It took me about 3 or 4 years in Peterborough,
right,
to get the recognition, acknowledgement from the local, hyper-local community off the back of video, that what we're achieving now. And I feel like I barely scratched the surface because I've been so busy building the team and getting things right in place that I'm not really concentrating on video, and the impact has been ridiculous.
Yeah, because you've trained some of your new team up on it. They were completely not against it, but like, I'm not sure I want to do video.
Yeah, not sure.
Seeing your enthusiasm has helped them along. I mean, you showed me a video of one of your colleagues, Brooke.
Yeah, Brooke's a great success story. Yeah.
Amazing success story, and she's great on camera. She clearly, like, her intro was similar to yours, like that you.
Yeah, she did it first take, and it was almost like, I was like, Brooke, you've been really listening to obviously what I've been saying, and it was almost like quite a proud moment, really. But yeah, the whole team. I'm now, for the first time I've worked anywhere, I've got a whole team that are like, yeah, I want to be on video. Yeah, I want to do this,
which is amazing. They
understand the power of it. You mentioned a funny story.
Yeah, we've got a couple of you, like you can tell people.
Yeah, well, I had one. I go for wellness walks around the park out the office. Just I thoroughly recommend it. Just get your face away from a screen or on the phone and just walk around the park.
How long do you do it for, out of interest?
5 to 10 minutes. We're really, really fortunate. We've literally got a park that's a square and I can walk around. It's about a 5 to 10 minute walk.
Brilliant. Yeah.
And it's brilliant. And literally a week or two ago, I had kids go, oh, that's that chap off TikTok who does the property videos. And I was like, yeah, you're right, mate. It's quite funny. Really.
Which is interesting because I know you've got some other stories, but on that one in particular, we often do, when we do video training or we're just working on a monthly basis with some of our clients, they're still on the fence as, are we a bit old? Is it not business or corporate enough, like using TikTok? Is it a young person's platform? When actually, in that specific example there, whilst mum and dad, I don't know how old were they, like literally teenagers?
I'd say 15.
Yeah,
14, 15.
Probably not due to buy or sell a house or anytime soon, but the mum and dad might be, or might be going through it. Now, mum and dad might not see you on TikTok, but there's a case to be had there that you're exposing yourself online in terms of video content to a younger audience that they might go, you should get that other guy around if you're getting valuations.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Thinking about, say, your house, use this bloke. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Or at least gets you in front of them. Simple as that.
Well, yeah, it's all about sort of, they might not need you for another 5, 6, 7 years, but you're consistently in front of them on their timeline. What was the success story you were saying about Brooke? Was it in Audi or something?
No, that was another colleague of mine, Sarah. She was. It was Lidl, actually.
Lidl, sorry, right.
I don't know whether we're allowed to name drop supermarkets, but yeah, it was Lidl, and she was going to join a queue, that was it, with a full load of shopping.
Right.
And the till had just closed next to her, and so she was in this queue. And the lady behind, who was on the till, saw it was Sarah, and she was like, "Oh, you're the lady off those property video tours."
Amazing.
She goes, "Come over here," and literally reopened the till for her, which made Sarah's week. It was incredible.
Like little low-level celebrity status.
She has it round. She's a mum, and she job shares with Sarah, and she picks up a kid a lot. She gets so much recognition of other local mums and parents picking up their kids in the playground in the morning. Like, I saw the video you did yesterday. Great, love it. And, it's
of interest,
so powerful.
Of interest to people as well. It's not just
it is.
me and you could, most people won't end up watching this because they're not involved in property or they don't sort of care for video in their business or whatever. But
they should.
They definitely should, shouldn't they? Yeah.
They really, really. I know. Listen, I know you're a friend, and I know you. All of you guys, obviously, here are friends and what have you. But I'm so passionate about it, and I was passionate about it 7 years ago.
Oh yeah.
And what I've experienced, I've been there a year, but because of a few health incidents and what have you, I've not actually had a full year. I've only had 10 months in, and the power of video is more present ever to me now than it has been ever. Simple as that. And that's me, somebody who's been in it, doing it for 7.5 years.
Yeah. And you've seen successes throughout the years, but I mean, as we have, it used to be, say, 10 years ago, it was a harder sell to try and encourage someone to have a video on their website or whatever. And how do you go about, what kind of videos are you making? Like, what is the general content?
So we've now created a 1-minute speed tour.
Love that. Okay.
Pretty much with every property, which you can do through ramping up, obviously, the speed in between, without spending a minute walking down a long garden and back to the house. It's suddenly 1 or 2 seconds through ramping up the speed, and you walk around like Benny Hill, as I say.
Yeah.
But they are very, very powerful. People want things quickly. So 1-minute speed tours are very powerful. We've got little coming soon swipe videos. They're very powerful. We're currently doing some community videos, which is sort of 12 days of Christmas.
Yes, seen a couple of those, yeah.
Basically interviewing local business owners. Again, that's sort of stuff we were doing years ago, but bringing it back. Melton Mowbray hasn't seen that ever, and it's going down exceptionally well. I mean, I think our highest viewed video on Facebook without any kind of paid promotion is, I think we're up to about 7,500, 8,000 views.
Really, just organically?
Yeah, organic.
Yeah.
And on average, I say there are about 2,000 or 3,000 views organic.
So you've started, well, clearly already developed a tribe that are watching most of the stuff you and the team are putting out, right? So
absolutely. And it's just.
And how consistent is it? Like you're saying, you make
videos?
Yeah.
Every property, near enough 9 out of 10 properties that we bring to market have a video.
And it
goes on Rightmove, with the YouTube link. It goes on social media. We're pretty much concentrated on YouTube Shorts, Facebook, and TikTok.
Okay.
Some of them are being cross-posted to Instagram, but
LinkedIn. Would you say more for landlords and lettings, or is that just not a platform you?
Interestingly, LinkedIn is going to be my target for this year. I've fortunate enough to sort of been promoted to look after the whole branch, which involves me looking after the sales team and the lettings team and growing the sales and the lettings business. I mean, just put it in context of sort of how successful video has been.
Yeah, have you got any key metrics or indicators like before you did it?
Well, listen, obviously I came into a business last year, and the property market this year has pretty much been, if you speak to anybody in the industry, I think they'd probably say it's either been the same as last year or worse than last year. We've had 125% growth this year.
Wow.
Which I put down a lot to video.
Yeah.
The impact of it within the local community. And certainly I'll be about the LinkedIn. I'll be going into LinkedIn next year to attract landlords, but also that will, my content is going to slightly change to attract landlords with landlord farming technique through Chris Watkin.
Yeah.
Getting this isn't new stuff. It's old stuff that's been around for 6-7 years and ideas that have been put out there for people to do video. But I think we could potentially be here in 5-10 years' time, Matt, having the same conversation. It's people get on video.
Yeah,
it's
and they won't.
Simple as that. And they won't. And it's the fit. I'm so fortunate that I don't really mind if I get any abuse. I don't care what people think of me. And I'm so fortunate to have a team surrounding me that also have that confidence.
And have you
know that they love it?
Have you had to instill that in them? Because trolls is online trolls and abuse is a thing, but when you actually scratch below the surface, I don't know how many times you've had nasty or mean comments or whatever, but quite often on a public platform, they'll either be gone in the morning because they've had a few to drink, or often with their real name and photo, or definitely real name attached to the profile. Do you find you get that, or is it more tongue-in-cheek stuff
Not really. Brooke, we mentioned Brooke earlier. She's quite tall.
Okay,
I think the worst we've had about any of them is oh my gosh, how tall is Brooke? I mean, she's about a foot taller than me. I'm 5'6", but she's 6 foot.
Yeah. But
she's like, how tall is Brooke? Or how tall is she? That's it. It's nothing malice, but, she's obviously tall enough and thick-skinned enough to take it.
Of course, yeah. And like I say, on the videos I've
nothing
seen,
bad.
They must like it as well because they're learning something new. And
yeah.
Was it a two-part question? Was it easy to get buy-in from your team? Because that's a sort of an obstacle we hear as well. And also with the businesses, like you said, you were doing 12 days of Christmas, going to local businesses. Is it a hard sell? Because even though it's free to them, is like your man who works in a newsagent or your lady who works in a baker's, like, are they like, oh no, I don't want to be on camera? They don't see the benefit of it, or
some people won't want to be on camera, but I always say, well, anybody from your business can be on camera, and you're gonna, it's only gonna be a couple of questions. In respect of the team, it wasn't really an objection because I went in there as new. I was like, this is what we're doing. I didn't say I want you to do it. I said I would love you to get involved, and then eventually it naturally came like, yeah, we want to do this. Well,
like I say, they watched you for a few months, and probably like a toddler were looking at mum and dad and going, how they're doing that, what they're doing with this, and you've also instilled confidence in them by the sounds of it.
And they're fearless of it, which is a fantastic trait to have because, as I say, video is just such an important factor. It really is. It's so visually powerful. I think it's more powerful than pictures now, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think there's always going to be a space for lovely, amazing photos. And there's still some great ones. And even, you can take a screenshot from this and get a still, but people love having a look at a photo. I still love reading. Like, I know certain generations, Gen Z and millennials, like, are reported to be a bit lazy and don't like sort of doing research or reading large volumes of text. But also, I don't truly think that attention span is 6 seconds with some of the younger sort of. I know, YouTube Shorts and Reels and TikToks like sort of have forced us down that alleyway. But going back, you did one in, I think it was in Peterborough, but you come in soon video, and you were in a nice. I remember you saying you were in a really nice kitchen with an Arga in there, and you just did a sweep of one room, didn't you?
Yeah,
and said, just done the deal on this, coming to market soon. And before you'd even got back to the office, didn't you get 2 or 3 messages?
Two phone calls came to the office off the back of that, of a live video.
Oh, this was Facebook Live, right?
Facebook
okay,
Live, live video saying, this is coming to the market. Here's a kitchen diner. If you'd like to know more, this is the price, this is the village. Give our team a call. I got back to the office, like we've had 2 inquiries off that Facebook Live.
Wow. And just from seeing 1 or 2 rooms, yeah.
Yeah, well, 1 swipe of a kitchen diner, that was it.
Right,
But it's just, I've had that this year in Melton doing, stood in the garden saying this is coming soon. Live videos are very powerful as long as they're put in the right place.
Yes.
And, attract the local attention. And you do build followers. You have people who wait to see your latest video.
They do. We've got a client in St Neots, and he stopped doing just because he was away on holiday or something like that. But they stopped doing he was doing the top 30 streets, which is another Chris Watkin thing, and people get into it to the point where he missed a couple of weeks out because he was he was away on holiday. And a lady actually commented on his last video saying, when's the next one out?
Yeah.
It wasn't released yesterday. She'd never liked or shared any of his videos.
No.
She didn't know she existed in effect. But clearly there was people waiting for the next video because they wanted to know where their street was in the top 30 or
of course.
whether, Deirdre next door had a more expensive house or whatever it is. But yeah, so I think people do generally, they say the weather and property is.
Yeah, I remember we had a house went on earlier this year, and that for some reason the owners, they didn't want a video. And ultimately, my client will do as I'm told to a certain extent, but they didn't want a video. And we had somebody saying, "Where's the video for this?"
Oh, really? Right.
We had no idea. They messaged our Facebook page, said, "Where's the video for this house?" Like it was a given that they would have it.
But that's an interesting point that Joe Public consumers who are not moving currently or maybe thinking about moving are expecting videos now.
Yeah.
It's gone that big.
Yeah, potentially. Certainly I think a lot of people who are waiting for our properties to come on the market expect a video now.
Yeah. And for any agents watching, letting or estate agents, I guess, what is the time burden? Because people always go, I haven't got time. I've done the viewing, I've done the valuation.
And upload.
Yeah, just say one of your quick, maybe even a teaser trailer, like a 30 seconds.
Right, so a teaser of something that's coming on is 10 seconds to film, a minute to upload and write some text with it. A sweep of each room is one of the easiest videos to do.
Yeah.
Where you do a sweep of the house, a sweep of each room as you would walk through it. You put them all together in one. I'm still using CapCut when I was on the air last time, which I think was about 18 months ago.
Yeah.
You can put them all together, get rid of the volume on all of them, put in your song over the top. I'd say that it takes about a minute, 2 minutes to film.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe about 2 to 3 minutes to edit, upload, gone.
So you're looking sub 10 minutes, really, once you know what you're doing.
And then the 1 minute speed tour, that tends to be about 3 minutes to film, 3 to 4 minutes to film.
Yeah,
probably about a 10 to 15 minute edit.
Bit more involved, yeah.
A bit more involved because there's a bit of, ramping up the speed and obviously cutting it, etc. But you're talking half an hour.
Yeah, which I know is a long time in someone's day, but
if you're being paid £3,000-4,000 average fee, I think your half an hour's valid.
Yeah, for sure, actually, yeah.
Why aren't you doing it is my question.
Yeah, I mean, we say...
Unless your client doesn't want it.
Yeah, of course, yeah. We found that with 360 tours, like, that they were really popular, obviously, during lockdown, but then as lockdown eased, people didn't want everyone to see behind the sofa or, whatever, because they're quite, not intrusive, but you can see everywhere, right? So
yeah, I'm not the biggest, I've never really been the biggest fan of 360 tours. If somebody really wanted it, they could have it, but I was not sure if the tech is still there, they're not a bit clunky and what have you.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. But, there's some great, we use Matterport. We obviously know Freddie, if you're watching it, Giraffe 360, very popular amongst agents. They're really quality output.
And say, some of our agents within our group use them, and but just not for me.
Well, I guess it's customer choice, like you said.
Absolutely.
If they want that, then
the customer wants it, they can have it.
Perfect, right? So we've been chatting a while. It's easy for us to do, but we always ask people when they come on the show because they're normally experts like yourself in their chosen field. But you've been talking about video. You sort of really engage with video, and it's part of the marketing mix for your business. But what is some top 3 tips for someone thinking about getting into video or have started and gone, I don't know how to do this, or I'm a bit worried about it, or...
My advice would be is, one, to just get it out there. There's a saying that done beats perfect.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you're going to the level of making it extremely professional, that doesn't count. But in respect to just general video content, get it out there. Listen, it gets in front of people. If there's mistakes, it shows you're real.
Yes.
100%. Done beats perfect. Be fearless and creative as you want with it. Because, as I say, people like things that stand out and are different. It catches their attention.
On the fear level, does that come down a notch every time you do a video? I know
without question.
It's gone for you. It's gone for me now, but...
Without question.
Yeah.
Yeah. But without question. It's just, it's second nature. It's like, it's probably harder for me to have a conversation with somebody I've never met than it is to go on camera and say something.
Yeah. That's weird. Yeah.
The third tip would just basically be consistent with it. Don't post something and then don't do anything for 2 weeks. Set something like, I'm going to post twice a week or 3 times a week or once a day, whatever it is, and be consistent with it.
And maybe start off twice a week and then build it up.
Twice a week. Yeah. However you want, but we ran through some times earlier. It really doesn't take that long time. So anybody says, I ain't got time to, rubbish. Well, they have time.
Yeah.
Help back from swearing, though.
Yeah, well done. Well censored yourself, yeah. And what about you? What do you watch? Like, what are your visuals in your life, apart from businessy stuff? But
so
films, box sets, or your reader, or...
Yeah, no, I listen to podcasts. I've got kids at home, so I'm watching a lot of... Steve and Maggie at the moment, which is brilliant to help.
I've not seen that actually, but...
mate. You should. It's been brilliant to help my 2-year-old start, or 2.5-year-old start talking and learning, etc.
Right.
For me personally, I watched Paris Has Fallen, which is pretty gripping.
I've seen that on Prime.
Yeah, that's really.
I've seen Olympus Has Fallen.
Yeah,
but not. Yeah,
Paris Has Fallen, really gripping. Actually, I just stumbled across it. Do you know what? I think I stumbled across it because the graphic was grabbing.
Oh, like the thumbnail, yeah.
I'll always give something a chance. If it doesn't get me in 10 minutes, I tend to move on.
Just on that before we finish, but do you invest time in creating thumbnails for your videos, or is it just a still of the house, maybe?
I select tried to select the clickbait within the video.
Right, okay.
So whatever it is we've shot, whatever would make somebody click it.
Like the nicest room, for example, or
obviously with YouTube Shorts, you can't do the thumbnail yet, I don't think.
no, you can't actually.
No.
On Shorts,
and that's what we're really going with. With the, I'll be honest, we've stopped using the portrait. The landscape videos. We've stopped using them totally.
Just gone portrait.
Just gone portrait YouTube Shorts.
Yeah.
Because of the time factor.
Of course, yeah.
Obviously, with the landscape ones, we're doing YouTube. Obviously the thumbnail, but didn't really notice that much difference.
Again, it's not
probably didn't test it for long enough, but didn't really notice.
There's info out there, and the classic Mr. Beast one where he's like, oh, and there's a shark coming towards him.
There's loads of those.
But even Stephen Bartlett does it. I saw one of his the other day. He had a guy chatting about pensions and property, and the quote was, "If you're under 45, never buy a house." And I thought it's a bit clickbaity from Stephen Bartlett, but I suppose everyone's at it. So, mate, listen, thanks again for coming on. Really enjoyed chatting to you as usual, and we'll get you on for another new set if we ever change it.
Yeah, the new set looks incredible.
Yeah,
by
it's
the way.
all right, isn't it? Yeah,
well done. It's great to see it growing and all the change and everything.
Yeah, good stuff. Well, I'll keep my eyes peeled for you next Melton Mowbray video. All right,
Brilliant. Thanks
cheers, guys. See you later.